I see somebody's in.
Not me.
Well, I'm in a 7-Eleven. I'm exhausted. We've just managed to get some charge into a few things. We also had a problem. I don't know who's in. Just say hello if you're in. Michelle's just going to connect to my hotspot, and then I'll explain to you what we've been up to. 5 people in. Beautiful. Say hello. So I slept in basically a hedge last night. I mean, effectively. We are going to try and get to a hotel tonight. So excuse me for looking like a complete and utter vagrant.
D. Mayfield and Jan A. Hello.
G'day, Jan. Dean. D. G'day. So just a quick sound check for me. Make sure I've, I haven't slept. Well, I have slept, but we have slept in the tent for quite a few nights on a trot now. Hair's all sort of like.
Jan says you look fine.
I look beautiful, Jan. That's what you meant to say. We're in a 7-Eleven. I've actually got some hot coffee in one of our little cups.
I'm just laughing because you've got the big bag of crisps twirling around your head.
That's
Mango puffs, are they?
That is my mascot. God, I am.
Mark. Hi, Steve and Michelle.
G'day, Mark. So.
D. Mayfield says, just no pooping on park benches. Just kidding.
Oh, God. You remember that? That's a joggle reference. I did not poop on a park bench, by the way. And if you weren't following us in the jogger, you won't know what that means. They got I need some sugar here, and they had they got like buy one, get one free on, I was just looking to see, everything in 7-Eleven's buy one, get 2% off. It's all written in Chinese, so we can't really fully understand. You go up to the counter and you think that you might be getting one free, and then it ends up just being 10%, so it's a bit disappointing. So we are on the East Coast now. And this morning, early morning, we got the train over. We decided to skip just the bottom loop because everyone told us it wasn't very nice, and it looked really pretty actually in the train. It sort of kind of made me think, oh, we could have cycled, but I'm sure the route they're talking about would have been awful. So we've done a little bit, about an hour, just to get across the country so we can start coming up the East Coast. My Lord. Okay, where did I leave you? The picture that you can see there is the night before. We actually camped in a themed sort of NASA space. We're actually under if you look at the thumbnail, we're very close to a USA space rocket. And there's I think I've got a few other photos. It's hard to get photos when you're sort of just trying to survive in the mosquitoes and night air. But it was not a bad little spot, except for the guy in the morning coughing up phlegm. But
yeah, that wasn't nice. We had to get up early. No barking dogs. It was okay in that respect. Oh, 7-Eleven.
So that's where we left you. We then cycled as far south as we could. Forgive me, I can't remember the names of the towns, but it doesn't matter. Hopefully in later videos. We stopped in 7-Eleven today. We've run out of card space. A big chunk of what I hope it's recorded. A big chunk of what I was doing this morning wasn't being recorded because each time I've got the GoPro sort of mounted on my chest. It's upside down. I have to press the button from underneath, and I assume that triggers the filming. When we stopped just a little while ago, I looked down, I pressed it, the screen comes on, said card full, and just turns off. So I don't know how long that's been going on. It could have been going on all morning. I hope I've managed to video some of it because it was horrendous. We got off the train in a really sleepy little village called Dawu. Dawu, which is the very bottom of the sort of, it's where the train lands on the east coast. So we're in this really sleepy little village this morning, and there wasn't really much there. There was a 7, so we probably got an onigiri, little rice ball to give us some sustenance, and got our water levels up. And we've set off cycling, and my gosh, it is just headwinds, 30-mile-an-hour headwinds. We're on, I don't want this to become like the joggle where I'm moaning. I'm trying to keep it positive, but we're on basically a motorway. It's a dual carriageway for the last 3 or 4 hours. It's just 3 hours. It's just been a dual carriageway uphill. Trucks passing us. It is, I want to be back on the West Coast. Everyone told me the West Coast, oh, you want to do the East Coast, it's so much prettier. Yes, we've got the sea to the side of us, which is kind of grey and a little bit tepid looking.
Yeah, grey beaches.
Grey beaches, sort of grey rock, all a little bit, but the wind, I think I've got like a chapped lip. The wind coming into our faces. That we're cycling up hills that just go on and on and on and on for an hour up a hill, and then you come over the crest of the hill and start to go down the hill, and you still got to pedal even down the hill because the wind is so strong that you're not getting any freewheeling, so it's really hard. I don't know, I'm feeling a bit, I don't know. We need to get to a hotel tonight and freshen up, and maybe we'll be able to sort of, because we've got strong legs now, haven't we, Michelle?
I'm surprised how well I managed the hills with the wind.
Hopefully you can hear Michelle. She is just sat here. Look, I'll turn. You can say good morning to Michelle.
Yeah, my legs were strong. But gosh, those hills, they went on and on and on, and the wind in my face.
Yeah, so we're feeling a little bit like, what the hell are people on about? The East Coast is so pretty. So far from...
Mark says, okay, we like you moaning. No.
You're going to get a lot of moaning in this one. If the SIM card didn't run out, or the memory card didn't run out. I've got my laptop with me. It's another unnecessary weight that we're carrying, but I've got it. So I'm offloading. Just now we've offloaded one of the SIM cards, but each time it fills up, it's 130 gigabytes of data. So we really got to get to a hotel, because I've got a hard drive somewhere in the luggage, and we need to get some stuff off. So I hope that we got the last sort of day and a half, and I didn't just keep pressing the button. It's really hard when you're cycling you've got to remember to capture the sound, and you've got to remember to, I hoped on this side I'd be able to put the drone up, but the wind is shocking. I don't think the drone would fly. I think the drone would sort of say strong winds and not go up. So we're heading towards a city called Taitung, and we're gonna get there, and we're gonna find ourselves a place to stop tonight, a little hotel, a little guest house or something, and really get this shirt now is starting to stand up by itself.
Dean Mayfield said, listen, my hat's off to both of you for doing all this stuff. I'm snug in my bed. And Jan says, windburn face.
Yeah, yes. I think I just said to Michelle, I need to get some cream. I've actually got I might put a little on.
You've got some.
A little chapstick.
I mean, our hats have been good because they snug on tight, don't they?
Yeah, I'll show the hat. You can pass it to. So we got these hats in a store here, and they're kind of cool. They've got a full cape on the back. They've got wind vents in here, so they've got these sort of ventilation gaps all round, and then inside got like a netting, sort of like a thing. Now we'll just quickly say, even though this cycle is killing me, a big thank you to our sponsors, Taipei Bike Works and Alec, and also to Ortlieb Taiwan, to Lynn, for supplying us with the bags. They've been a godsend, and I'm going to do a little video about both, I hope, at some point, and just sort of explain to you why they're so good. But in the meantime,
But Dean Mayfield says, put these in your merch store. They're not ours.
My merch store, nobody buys anything from my merch store. I think I don't think I've got a merch store, but I think probably about 5 years ago was the last time anybody bought anything. So
We're getting lots of hearts. I like
oh,
that.
thank you. Hearts and thumbs up.
Yes.
Hearts. What does that mean?
Well, someone's pressed the heart button that's always in the way. You know that heart button that they put
Oh,
in the way
that
of
one.
my
Okay,
comments?
I've got comments here that I'm missing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't know if anyone's ever cycled this coast before, but my first impression is that I don't know. This guy here is sort of. As you meet some you see some strange people. My first impression is this is really not a nice bike ride.
I thought it would be quieter on this side, so the roads would be smaller and more countrified, country lane type roads. But they're not.
I'll turn the camera now. I can't really see from here. You won't see it clearly. But
Jan says we love the hats.
You've
safe
got
travels.
basically heavy traffic, big articulated trucks and cement mixers, a lot of cement mixers. I think my ears are full of dust. Big heavy sheet material trucks coming alongside you, and coaches full of tourists, and it's 2 lanes, but every now and again what is designated as the cycle route just goes down to a little white line, so you're basically on the white line and half your body is on the roadside. And so I'm very conscious, you know what it was like on the A9, and this is called the 9,
This is
isn't
the
it?
9, it is. And you say designated bike lane, it's a mini hard shoulder.
It's just a hard shoulder. Anywhere else in the world, this would be just a hard shoulder with all the old bits of tyres and sort of like, number plates and hubcaps on. But it is kept kind of clean. They do keep the dirt off it. But it's barely as wide. We can rarely ever go side by side. So we've cycled now what feels like about 800 miles down this thing, uphill. We got one stretch, a nice downhill stretch, which actually it was steep enough that our body weight could cut through the wind.
Yeah, because we're going downhill, but we're having to cycle downhill because the wind is so strong.
Yeah, we're cycling. Even you come to the brow of the hill and you think, oh, and you go, and the bike will just stop. The wind is so strong, the bike just comes to a stop. So then you're pedaling, and you think, oh, now you can see it. You know how when you get along the coast, you get those sort of bending roads that just vanish into the distance. We get into those roads, and it's all downhill, and I'm just going, we've got to pedal the whole way. There's no let up. Oh, and I ache. So I don't want to make this a moment. We had a wonderful, the other side, I think the West Coast, I really enjoyed the West Coast. A lot of people don't, but I love going through all the towns and things and seeing all the stuff.
The very centre of the city is a bit difficult, but the smaller bits of the cities and the small towns, and you meet some wonderful people, great interesting things along the route. We're here, we've just got the views, which are pretty, but how much of the sea do you want to see?
Let me just put the sound there, Michelle, that might pick us both up a little bit better. So, I did that live stream the other day it was probably a bit dangerous, but I had the camera on a gimbal and did that, and I quite enjoyed doing that, and I was going to do, and a few of you commented that you enjoyed seeing the thing, and I thought, oh, when I get on this side, I'll do that.
No way.
Unless this wind stops. It's not going to happen.
And this road's too dangerous.
And the road is just horrendous. And as far as I can see, now I've started looking at other people's videos who've done this journey, I'm starting to think, actually, it looks like this all the way up. So we're going to head to Taitung, get a hotel, and then we're heading to Hualien, which is probably the last point for Michelle and I. I think we're not going to cycle north of Hualien because everyone says the road's really dangerous there. So we're almost certainly going to get the train from there back to Taipei, which I don't know how many hundreds of kilometers we will have done. But yeah, it's been fun. I've kind of enjoyed. We were saying, you were just saying it again a minute ago, but our legs are really strong.
Yeah, I'm amazed at how, because I haven't got very strong legs, and it takes me a while to sort of when we started hiking, it took me a lot longer than you, and cycling, usually I can't do it, but I'm getting up those hills. The gears on the bike are working, and I just
we're not
keep
getting off.
pedaling up.
We're not getting off the bike at any time, just cycling up the hills, really low gears, because we've got the panniers on there as well, which makes us like basically a kite, cycling into the wind.
So D Mayfield said, honestly, you two truly are intrepid travellers.
Stupid travellers, D.
Nathan Tillett says hi.
Nathan, how are you?
And D Mayfield said, excellent idea. I think that's about the train.
Yeah, we pretty much planned that. We were actually going to get just to the south and train all the way up. We thought half the country was enough.
Yeah, but we keep going. We've got to do a bit.
But we were a little bit against time because we've got a bit of a family event that we've arranged at the beginning of November, sort of early November. So we're trying to sort of get that together. I wish I could stay here even longer. Taiwan is wonderful. The people are superb.
So friendly, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, a little about the night that you missed. We actually had a night in basically, I think, a graveyard last night, which you didn't see. I didn't really. We were riding too late. We went again too late. The weather got a bit gnarly, and we ended up having to rock up to a place I don't even know the name. It wasn't a proper town. It was just a small place, but it turned out it was pitch dark.
Green on the map.
We found a green flat spot, put the tent up, but in the morning they did actually come and say, "Oh, you really shouldn't be here. This is like a memorial park or something." But they were sweet.
They were nice about it.
They were lovely.
They didn't want us there really.
They didn't not want us, but it wasn't a place where we probably should have been. Anyway, we couldn't see. It was really dark and really undisturbed. But we weren't on a grave part. It was near a temple, so temples are always a good place to stop, and it was a good flat piece of ground. But it's the first time we've had someone come up to us and sort of kind of say, well, you really shouldn't be on here. They didn't say it like that. They were quite friendly. You shouldn't park here, you shouldn't camp here. But it was the morning time. We were getting up, we were half packed away, so yeah, we were in and out. It wasn't we weren't there that long. We had the train to catch, so
D Mayfield says, Steve, I've been wanting to tell you, if you and Michelle are going to keep doing this stuff, make a batch of pemmican. It will enhance your endurance.
Pemmican?
Pemmican.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but I'll look
And
it
Jan
up.
says, in other words, you shouldn't have done it, but it's all good.
Yeah. I mean, we probably shouldn't have camped in the rocket field either. And, although we did actually get that tip from
Yes, that was a local.
Yeah. Right. So this isn't going to be a long. I just really felt like I was running out of time, and actually we're just exhausted. We're just sat here. We feel like all the energy has gone from our bodies from the uphill cycling. So we just came in to get some snacks. I bought. That's the first biscuits. Honest Indian. That's the first biscuits that
Actually, today's the first day you said you need some sugar.
Sugar. I don't normally, but I probably didn't need sugar. No. I probably just needed carbohydrates. But I got some Oreos anyway. We've also got some rice balls, and we've had a bit of coffee and water, and we're just going to sit for another sort of half an hour and try and let that energy get back into our bodies before we do the last sort of push, and hope there's not too many hills. The wind is there though. What else has happened, Michelle? Anything interesting? Have we seen anything we want to note for our diaries?
No, lots of custard apples being grown on this side.
This area is custard apple. Apparently this is famous for the custard apple. They're almost like a artichoke, but inside it's a sort of creamy, semi sort of sweet. We haven't had one because we just haven't felt like stopping, to be frank. Every time we stop, we don't want to get back on the bike because the wind.
At places where we've just sort of got the momentum going, and we're not stopping. Keep going.
Just get to a downhill slope where you've still got to pedal, and then there'll be a custard apple shop, and you think, no, I'm not stopping, because if I do, it'll feel like I've been blown backwards. So but they look really interesting. They've got like, it's obviously really popular along this coastline because it's like there are statues of custard apples and sort of funny little cartoons of custard apples. Hopefully, I had the GoPro on, but like I say, we've only got 2 big drives and they were both full. So that's another reason why I said, look, I want to stop just in case there's anything I want to catch. But I'm a little bit worried, and I haven't time to check it now, but I will if we get in a hotel, that we might not have filmed any of that. That'd be really annoying. But anyway, such is life.
Yeah, it's either sound or visual.
Yeah, it's either sound or visual.
Yeah. So D Maple says, I have the recipe for pemmican. I have to look it up. We don't know what that is.
Well, you can drop me an email, socialmedia@steveskitchen.com. I'll get it. I won't get it for a while. I'm not checking emails for at least a few weeks, but it will come through. Or you can drop a message here, even on YouTube. I'm probably more likely to see it if you write it on YouTube, because I do check my YouTube. Although I might not have done this last week or so. I don't know if I've been online enough.
Well, you've got to
I'm going to get in trouble for yawning. I feel tired. Okay, so I think that's about it, Michelle. We're going to have a little bit of time just to sort of rest our aching bones. We're not actually doing too badly. I do occasionally take ibuprofen, whatever they call it, just occasionally. Oh, that's nice. The girl just got out of the car and dropped a tissue on the floor. I think accidentally, but immediately the lad outside's just gone and swept it up. So, yeah, we sometimes, when we're really, really, really absolutely know that it's going to be difficult just to rest because of the aches and pains, we might take a little painkiller just to...
He's checking you out now.
He was the guy that was laughing, and he's a interesting character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So he was walking around with a bag of food, sort of looking at the heaters. All right. So, love to you all. We'll try and do a live stream. We might not do one in the next 24 hours because we're probably just going to collapse and try and get ourselves a little bit clean. So, love to you all. Do leave your comments if you're watching this later.
Safe travel, sharing the love, says Jan.
If you want to support the channel, you can do with Super Chats and PayPal. Not that probably we're getting not anything, but and the other one.
It's all in the description.
Patreon.
D-Maker said, we love you, you do you.
Take care. All right. See you next time.